Ever wonder who voices some of your favorite animation characters? Or maybe you would like to give voice acting a try but don't know how to start? Then don't miss SonicCon, an audio theater convention hosted by Liberty University March 20th through the 22nd, 2020, featuring James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi, from Star Wars The Clone Wars and his one-man show, Talking to Myself. Plus, Katie Lee, the voice of Connie from Adventures in Odyssey. The convention features industry professionals, masterclasses, writing competitions, plus live radio performances. It's perfect for the entire family. Early registration going on now at sonic-con.org. That's sonic-con.org.
Hello everyone, this is JPL, and today I'm joined with
Christopher.
And yes, today we are the podcast named Braggots. Mm-hmm. Alright, how are you doing today, Christopher?
I'm tired. I need to get better sleep, that's why.
Alright, that's good. Do you have anything for me?
Do I have anything for you?
Mm-hmm.
A hug?
Okay. For those of you who...
Thank you for being my friend.
Yes, for those of you who don't... who can't see this, we just hug each other.
Right.
Maybe you heard that.
Or not, but okay.
Anyway.
No, I mean, I have a day planned out, kind of. I have some work I need to do.
Yeah.
I have work to go to. Domino's later. So it's all cool. It's all good.
Yeah.
So, but I am kind of tired, so we'll see if I'm going to get to bed at a decent time. But I know Wednesday night I'm going to try to get to bed at.
Right.
We'll see. Yeah, I intend to.
Right. So anyways, I've come up with some ideas.
Okay. I'm ready.
Or topics of discussion for the podcast.
Okay.
They may be long or short, depending on how in-depth you might put it.
Okay.
So what's your favorite passage of Scripture? Something that you constantly think of, or something that you just like reading in general.
All right. I'll say my favorite book of the Bible. Is James.
James, okay.
Some practical things in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Just lately, it's kind of I've been like I need to really focus on my relationship with Jesus more, which I'm not great at.
Right.
I need to make that a focus. By the way, I just thought of a little something I want to put on my phone. But this moment.
At this moment, he's writing something on his phone. A reminder for himself.
So it had nothing to do about reading my Bible, by the way.
Right.
But so basically, just that relationship with Jesus, I need to focus on more. So I've been listening to my Bible on the way to school.
Yeah.
I was going through Joshua, and there were 2 chapters. I think chapter 7. It was either chapter 21 or 22, and they just dealt heavily about sin, and they struck me. But I feel like I need to go back to those because I think I need to be reminded of that.
Right.
And so, I mean, because it was a big deal. You sin, you were stoned, you're dead. Basically, I don't know. It's they took it very seriously, you know.
Yeah, they did,
and we don't. So it's sad. And I know I have not been the past couple of days, so I need to work and get back on that.
In a way, we glorify sin.
Yeah, really. And so I don't know. There's just been little things. Like there's some songs that just remind me about just relationship with Jesus. There's some passages that like those 2 Joshua chapters that come to mind semi-often, but not often enough. But overall, my favorite book of the Bible is James. I feel like that kind of comes from I'm more, I feel like there's the war between Christians between grace and works.
Yes.
We obviously know that it's not by works we're saved, but there are obviously people, there are people who are very focused on doing things for Christ, and there are other people who are more focused on the relationship with Christ.
Yeah.
And I am very much, in this case, more like I want to do things for Christ. But I need to remember the relationship is also important. And so that I'm not very good with.
Yeah.
And I need to focus on more And so, but I guess maybe part of the reason why I gravitate to James is because it's a book of, it has some do's and don'ts, you know?
Yeah.
I kind of, but there's some really awesome wisdom in that book that I really like.
That's nice. For me, it's interesting. When I was growing up, I kind of gravitated towards the Jeremiah 29:11, just because in my Bible classroom in middle school, they have decorations and stuff. They have these posters and stuff, and there's just one poster that just has the verse on it. And like, whenever I'm bored, I'm just like look around, see all that's there, and so I read that passage a lot. Like, for all I know, the plans I have for you, and that's kind of what I gravitated towards.
Yeah.
And it was the verse that I needed during that time in my life, because it's the verse that just kept coming into my head whenever bad things happens, and so I try and encourage people with that. And I understand that the context of the verse is just different. You can't just apply that verse to everyday life and say like, oh, you have to understand that this was meant for the people.
Right.
For Jeremiah, what he was saying, because they were going to destroy Israel at that point. I don't know the full context. I gotta go back and look over that. And so it wasn't until this spring where my passage changed to Hebrews 10:24 and 25. I know that you received a little message. Yeah, you did.
What do you mean a little message?
Hebrews 10:24 and 25. If I should remember it.
Yeah, you should.
I should. I should.
You want me to look it up?
Well, no, I have it. It's just I have like a memorization of two different
Mesh them together. That's what I do sometimes.
Yeah, it's like
Who cares?
Yeah.
Provided you get the essence to some degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
and let us consider how we may stir one another to love and good works, encouraging one another every day, as long as it's called today. Actually, no, that's not it. I have it with me. That's a different.
You sounded so convinced. It's like, and this and this and this. No, that's not it. Okay.
Like,
well, moving on.
yeah, I started right. I started correct. It's just I started mixing up Hebrews 3, I think, into it, or 4. I don't know.
It's too good.
It's too good. Got my little verse pack with me.
Okay.
If I could find this thing.
Oh. Did you eat lunch yet?
No.
I haven't either. I was like, I'm not sure if I want to get Fresh Market, because sometimes some of their lunch options is more like geared for lunch, and I'm not up to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want a salad or something. I want to eat something
I want a
healthy.
salad or something.
I think I'm gonna go to like the Grid and buy a salad.
That's cool.
I feel like I need to eat healthier, which I'm not like. I don't know. Like,
do you just look it up?
Okay, it's not that like I'm super unhealthy, but it's at the same time it's also like I like just with school, and then you kind of start to lose sight of priorities sometimes.
Let us consider how we may stir one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as we see the day drawing near. That's it.
So you got it.
I got it.
Look it up.
I didn't even find it. It's just like, oh,
Just
okay.
hit your brain.
Just I know it. It's just like sometimes that darn other Hebrews verse just gets in my head because it just sounds so similar.
That a lot of it does.
Yeah. And let us consider how we may stir one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, all the more as you see the day drawing near.
So, John, did you go to church on Sunday?
No. No, we're moving buildings this Sunday, right?
This Sunday we're at the new one.
Yeah, I will go to the new building.
But not the old building.
Yeah. I don't know, what was I doing Sunday? I was doing bad choices.
What,
yeah.
Watching Little House on the Prairie?
No.
No.
No, I was
No.
watching analysis videos.
For school?
No. So, like, I plan to.
Right.
It's like I stayed up. Sometimes I think like I could stay up
Yeah.
and just go to church without sleeping. But, once I get to 4 in the morning, it's like,
I understand. Because I've considered that with like some of my classes, like, I'm
it's
already
like-
up so late. What if I just stayed up? No, my parents want me to sleep, and I sleep.
because
through
it's
my
like,
class.
it's just because it's like, hey, it's only like, hey, the service.
It's only a couple hours away. I can stay up.
I can do it. I've stayed up 36 hours before.
Yeah.
That was a couple years ago, but I
Yeah.
did it. So it's just like, it's my bad. Really, it's my bad that I didn't go on the last service there.
You're fine. Yeah, I just
It's not fine. It's been becoming a habit. I gotta stop.
bad habit. Bad habit. Where does Jonathan go to church?
I don't rightly know.
You don't know.
I don't remember the name.
But you go to church
He does.
more than you.
I don't know.
Okay. We watched it together. We watched the Lost. in
Yes,
Demas.
his Lost in Demas video.
Lost in
And
Demas.
so, yeah, that Hebrews verse was something I started going to a small group, and that was like...
Wait, that's Wednesday nights, right?
yeah, that was the
Wednesday
Wednesday night group that I went to.
night. Wait, went?
Yeah.
So no longer?
I no longer, because they changed the buildings.
So it's like farther away.
I think so.
You think so? You didn't even care to check?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I never got the new address, so...
Oh, well, why didn't you ask?
Because I don't want to ask. I'm too lazy. And plus, like, I think the lead pastor is no longer in charge of it because he got
Okay.
deployed.
Deployed?
Yeah, he's in the army, so...
Okay. I was hoping not deployed in a bad way. Like, deployed. Oh, we sent him out. We deployed him because... No, that's more like... expel.
Right.
Okay.
And so when thinking of that verse, that's just a verse that's like of encouragement, of meeting together, of relationship, something that I highly valued. And so, there was that period of time where I started sending all those messages. I sent you one about how much you meant to me.
I don't remember.
It was in March, I think.
Did you send it via Messenger or...
It would have been Messenger or on your text message.
I'm curious now.
Very likely it was on Messenger.
Because I do not remember.
Perhaps.
Wait, now it's starting to hit my brain a little
Yeah,
bit.
because I started that thing with Hebrews 10.
How much have we texted? Not that. Yes! You were
Yes.
like, thank you for being my
Ye-
first friend.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and I definitely feel like since then we've gotten, become closer friends.
Well, yeah, because like we've been trying to
Not
spend more
because
time.
of that, but yeah, we've spent more time in doing this podcast for one.
Yes.
Which a lot of people don't realize. You become closer friends with people when you do podcasts together.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
Oh, yeah.
That means I should start doing that with some people. Like I have time. But then you make time. But then I just don't want to feel
gotta edit
responsible.
it.
No, I'm not gonna. Oh my gosh.
I don't even edit it. I just put a picture on it. Just
Yeah.
upload it.
I'm not even. If I ever did a podcast like that, I'm not even gonna take the time to edit.
Right. Yeah, I guess another passage that I like is just John 1. Just in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That whole passage is just like, oh, that's just so much.
And you know that John 1:1 tells us God was really Jesus
Yeah.
the Word. 1 tells us God was really
Yeah,
Jesus the
he's
Word.
singing a song. That's just a verse. I memorized that verse in middle school and forgot over time. But over the summer, I've been trying to memorize it again.
Because you got little campers.
No, because that's what the camp wanted us to do is try to
Okay.
memorize verses.
That's pretty solid.
Otherwise, you'll get the peer pressure by your supervisor. It's like, I don't want that crap.
No, I understand. Like I know more than you. Okay, sorry.
Well, like it's not that. He's like, John, you gotta get into that. You gotta get into that. You gotta get into the Word.
Did you register for classes?
Not yet.
Okay, because I just saw the sign.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
did John register for classes?
no. No.
Okay.
I have to meet with my advisor first.
Okay. Well, hurry up because classes start filling up.
Yeah.
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 It's fine.
No, it's not fine, John. It's not fine.
This is fine. No. So yeah, that's just fine. I enjoy the passage. So.
Yeah. No. I am.
And also Romans 12.
Romans 12. What's that again?
Romans 12 is the best book and the best part of Romans.
Okay.
It was something that we had to do during summer camp, learning and teaching the kids. The ending verses, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good.
Mm-hmm.
That's also where it brings up the spiritual gifts and all that. Hate what is evil, love.
That is good.
In doing this, you will heap of burning coals on his head. And,
Yeah, that's
that
a good
whole,
verse.
Yeah, that whole section there was just so meaty, and I loved it. It was like my favorite thing to do. I was terrible at teaching it, but
But did the kids love you?
I think so.
I hope they did.
I had the best kids,
Good.
the most tame kids out of all of my counselors. They were all miserable.
And you're like, well, I'm happy.
And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm tired too. But I ain't complaining.
Right.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. You obviously saw
Right.
worse, I guess.
I saw worse than the other kids. Not mine, but
Not yours. Yours were good.
for the most part.
Uh-oh.
I can't go into it. It
Why
would be
not?
disrespectful for me to.
You don't have to name names.
It would still be disrespectful.
Okay.
The only thing
Off the record, maybe?
off the record, I'd say pray for this one kid.
Okay.
Pray for this one kid. My final week there, who's so. There's a spiritual battle, definitely. He's only like 6 years old, and like already he's just closed off.
Yeah.
Like
That's
whenever
sad.
you try to mention the Bible, he turns gray. Like physically, he turns gray and it's just goes off against him. He'll try and run away. He'll scream. Like he cannot sit still and listen.
That's crazy.
And so, and he would just saying is like, no, like God loves sin, like Jesus loves sin, like God doesn't love me. And so like he's just there's this big wall. Like there's definitely spiritual demons going on.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah,
My one counselor is just my counselor friend who comes here. He worked really hard, and he told me off the book that there was just this one opportunity for like this 1 minute where the walls were down, and he started working, asking the questions. The kid said, he doesn't believe that God loves him, doesn't believe that his parents love him. And then the counselor asked, do you believe I love you? And he says, yes.
That's awesome.
And that's all he needed right there. I don't know how the kid is now, but
Right.
we didn't, it wasn't really a good week for him, so.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, me working at Good News Club, I definitely see, like, some kids who, or, they're just tired after a long school day, and then they just don't want to sit still, kind of. But then there are some kids where you just really wonder what's going on with them spiritually.
Yeah, I've seen, kids not really interested in learning the Bible. I've seen kids bored and just not wanting to. But this was, like, the first time where, like, I saw, like, there was something else going on here.
Yeah.
And, like, we have theories. We don't really know.
Yeah. When you don't know what to do, just theorize.
Like, yeah, I mean, these are serious theories that we can't confirm.
Right.
But, my thought was, is like, why this kid specifically?
I mean, it could be any kid.
Well, no, but why is it so, why does the devil have such a strong hold on this one kid, unless this kid, if led properly, would be amazing? That's my thought.
Yeah. That's sad. Just you think about, like, so many people, if only they were changed by the gospel, how different their lives would be.
Yeah, and the kids definitely heard the gospel. but just something I don't know. Yeah, that was a long week, definitely for all of us.
And that was the last week.
That was my last week as
Wow.
well. Definitely, I had good kids, and I felt bad for my counselor because he really wanted that kid just to,
Yeah, no, I understand.
All right, on to a lighter note.
On to a lighter note. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good rest of the day.
My second topic.
Yes. Oh, you have these memorized.
I have two topics.
Two topics.
I wrote them down.
All right. So first one was 20 minutes. Second one needs to last us.
It really depends on how you're gonna answer this.
Okay.
Past crushes.
Okay.
How I wanted to do this one was not.
Okay.
Let's not really talk about them, the person specifically.
Yeah, that's easy.
I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our past crushes.
Wait, you've had crushes?
Oh, I've had a lot of crushes. Oh boy, you don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
But no, I wanted us to just talk
teasing,
about
I'm sorry.
what was the foundation of that crush. And we're not gonna name names. Just say, okay,
no,
I had
that's
this.
a very interesting question.
Yeah, because I started thinking about my past crushes, and it's like, why did I have a crush on them? Like, how did it change through time?
Yeah. So I've thought about just this topic generally, and just throughout my time in life, I've not really had solid, consistent friends.
Right.
Not that my friends were bad or they themselves inconsistent, but my life.
Yes.
I lived in LA for 9 years. I lived in South Korea for 7 years. I've lived in Lynchburg for over 3 years. So in LA, I went to a preschool, and it was all connected to the grade school I went to, but not all those kids went to the grade school.
Yeah.
So I had some friends there that I don't think any of them transferred with me over to grade school.
Right.
There was this one girl I remember I was good friends with, but that wasn't a crush. That was just good friends.
Right.
Because you're too young to know it. But
oh man.
let me think. And then got to grade school, so I had a couple really good friends. And then after first grade, for second grade, I was homeschooled, so I didn't necessarily have social interaction for a very long time, stretching into South Korea until 2015 when I started interacting with online people. But my first crush was actually in LA, and we met at a VBS. And the thing about her, we were able to talk. I guess that was just the coolest thing, to be able to talk with someone, and we could just talk endlessly.
Yeah.
And probably, being 9 years old, it was probably just endless chatter about whatever. But yeah, and then I don't know what happened, but she just stopped talking to me at some point.
Well, I guess that's when puberty in middle school comes in, because that's where a lot of changes come in, for sure.
I'm I have no idea, man. What's puberty? What is it? I just feel like I've just grew up in such a mellow fashion that sometimes I'm
So what was the foundation of that crush? Why did you like her?
That one, because we were all right. So just generally, I feel like the main reason why first let's go general. Why?
Yes.
What was the general foundation of many of these crushes? Because I feel like I've never necessarily had a best friend, a consistent friend. So I've wanted that one person that I could share my life with. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So so to be able to have that consistent friend, because I hate to say it, but what's our friendship going to be after Liberty? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to move away. You don't know if you're going to move away. We still could be in the same town, but we could be living different lives. but we're not going to be at liberty, so we're not necessarily going to be able to interact with each other.
we can try to make the effort.
We can definitely try, but then it's like effort. Are we going to put in that time? I definitely want to, but it's like, but then you even think about your other friends. We have so many people around here, like Jonathan. He's not local. You know what I mean?
He's not local.
So you're after Liberty, you're probably not going to be seeing him much.
Oh, definitely, because he's getting married, so
right.
He's gonna have that life.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess for me, in terms of just the whole getting in touch, like I have friends, I have the time and the ability to do it.
You do.
They're
we
busy.
Don't.
Yeah, they're busy because they have
sucks.
jobs, they have schools, and they have different hours.
But you don't have school. You don't have a job. You don't have any. All you have is time.
Time that's running out. Yes.
True. But so I feel like that's like the general foundation that I've wanted, like someone consistent in my life, that best friend. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Does that make sense? I hope it does.
Your best friend for life.
Kind of, especially the fact that I don't necessarily have anyone that I can call that. Because I have some friends definitely in the season during Liberty.
Of course.
But after Liberty, I don't know what's going to become of those friendships.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to still be friends, but we're not going to be consistently seeing each other and pouring into each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me think. So with that, I almost said the name. With that girl in LA, it was the fact that we were able to just be able to talk to each other.
Mm.
Definitely, probably some appearance was in it, but at the same time, that wasn't really like the main thing on my mind. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I remember in South Korea, like tried emailing her a couple of times and it never really worked. So that's down the drain. Yeah, so sad. And then celebrity crushes do not count. So we'll gloss over those. They do not count.
True.
Because there's no solid foundation for those. Oh, the person's pretty. Oh, the person seems cool in interviews. Wada. There's no other foundation. You know, because there's absolutely no way you're going to meet the person. And you've never met the person. So there's no foundation for those. So we'll skip over those.
Right.
At least I will.
Okay.
Let's see. In South Korea, I can't say I had crushes. Because I didn't interact with people. It was just online.
Right.
Just like the last 2 years in South Korea, I interacted with people online. And hey, I've had thoughts, like, interesting, but at the same time, it's like, oh, it's online. What's going to make of it? You know what I mean? Then I come to Lynchburg and start going, now I'm wondering how much details I should be giving. Then my first crush coming back to America, kind of similar to her, just the ability to talk about things.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And then just in time, you just kind of just become attracted to the person.
Yeah.
You know? And so, for me, after like not seeing girls in real life, not really, but you know, like this, for like 7 years, my brain went crazy. You know?
Yes.
Because it's like, oh, you're living at home, you're with your family. Hey, you see the occasional college girl, because my parents worked at a university, but like, oh, they're not Christians or whatever, and besides, they're Korean. Not that I'm racist, but it's like, you know, language barrier.
Of course.
And them being older than me. And so it's like, all right, so I didn't even interact with like any girls my age for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come to America, and then I start talking to this girl. We somehow become friends. I totally forget how we even started talking, but it was we went to the same church.
Yeah.
And we saw each other at church and talked at church, and that was great. But then it was like my brain was like, oh, I just got way too excited mentally. You know.
You were infatuated.
Define the word, because I'm not smart.
Infatuated is. Let's look it up.
Let's look it up.
Let's look it up, because, yeah, infatuated is what people perceive as love, but actually isn't.
Let's see if I can even spell it.
It's where there's like a slight obsession. with it.
Obsessed with an intense but short-lived passion or admiration for someone.
Yes.
So, I mean, you always hope it's long-term when you're in that moment. But it was just kind of like, oh, I was just young and too eager to some degree.
Yeah.
And hey, you know, like my parents never necessarily like guided me because it was kind of a topic that was kind of avoided. And hey, after not seeing girls or interacting with girls for like 7 years,
It wasn't really much of a problem.
What do you mean?
I mean, growing up.
Well, yeah, but then it was also like then when I was put into that situation, now I'm of age when people get girlfriends or boyfriends. And then
Ridiculous.
I'm totally like, hey, this totally could be something,
Sure.
after just a couple months. And hey, I mean, not saying that hasn't happened, but like I've had no guidance. I've had no experience. I've no experience for girls at all, except online texting, which come on.
Yeah.
Okay, that can be done in a good way, and it was for 7 years.
Yeah.
So like I'm like at a different level. Of course I've matured from being a 10-year-old in LA becoming, a 16, 17-year-old in America. But still, it's like just a lack of interaction with people. And I felt and I still do honestly feel ignored by a lot of people at church. I just don't feel welcome by a lot of the people. Now there's some people I do love and trust, but there's a lot of people where I just feel like I'm so different, I'm so weird, and they never want to ever interact with me. There's this one guy who keeps giving me these stares, and they scare the crap out of me. And he just makes me very uncomfortable.
Right.
So, yeah, that was that. And that was the end of that because of that. Because I was... and then also she stopped coming to church, so...
Okay.
How much information am I even supposed... Because I'm afraid some people are going to like, oh, I know who you're talking about. Darn it.
Just be...
I'm not mentioning names at the very least.
Yeah, not mentioning names. I could also...
Because the thing is, like, these details play into why I crushed. The foundation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess, for me it's slightly different.
Okay.
I can be vague about it.
Okay. Unfortunately, I'm bad at being vague sometimes. But here's the thing. Despite, the embarrassment of that era, because she's no longer going to church, there's this element of me that when I'm reminded of her, that I pray for her.
Right, yeah.
I really do feel like that experience has kind of impressed on me the ability to remember her in prayer. Because just anytime you kind of crush on someone, there's always, no matter how much your crush has dwindled, there's always that little part that
there's
holds on.
There's that lingering feeling.
Yes.
Of like what could have been.
Right. And so that's kind of the case. So with this, so it's like, okay, it's a great thing because to a degree, because I remember to pray for her sometimes because I'm seriously worried about her spiritual condition. So
I know that. Yeah.
So for me, because if I didn't crush, she'd been like, oh yeah, she was someone who existed, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I get that.
To some degree, that's kind of cool. And I'm gonna try to be more vague. The next girl I crushed on for a long time, but I loved her heart for ministry. I'll use the broad word of ministry, and I thought, still do, kind of. She's cute, but she also probably was more or less interested in someone else, and we just never interacted enough. That's also one interesting thing with like most of my crushes I've ever had is that lack of interaction, and it's never necessarily been my fault. They're just in different circles than I am.
Yeah.
I've never necessarily had a friend circle. I have a lot of friends or a lot of people who know me and I know them, but I don't necessarily have this consistent friend circle that I'm constantly seeing these people and that we're constantly interacting, that we're constantly constantly able to know each other. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's the case with pretty much most all my crushes. Maybe. So that girl was, out of probably all the crushes I've had, I've been the most confident in her spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely a huge motivator why I really crushed on her, is because I loved her heart for the Lord. So, and that's significant for me because I want a wife who loves the Lord. I just don't want to marry anyone, you know.
Of course.
I want someone who loves the Lord. So, then I started to crush on someone else, and for a while I've kind of thought she was pretty, but it wasn't necessarily like forefront. But then I feel like it was more because she was pretty, but at the same time it was always awesome to talk to her. But that one I kind of felt like that was more based on her looks. And hey, we're actually, out of like all the crushes I've had, we're actually friends.
Yeah.
Like after the period, like we're actually good friends. Not like super tight and close, but we're close friends, like to some degree, you know?
Yeah.
So, which is still pretty awesome. She's still an awesome person, but I feel like that one was definitely more based on looks. And I'm sure there were definitely other elements. She definitely had a soft heart. She was awesome to talk to. But the main thing why I'm no longer crushing on her is because she got a boyfriend. Gosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and then so that really wrecked me.
Oh, I know that.
Oh my god, it's the worst.
It is. It's like, yeah.
I nearly like went into depression over it, and like I found out it was like during the summer, and I was here in Green Hall, like in the Tilly when I found out. And like I was about to like go into one of the classrooms to edit, and so I was probably like fuming. That was amazing.
Oh yeah, you need some time to fume a bit.
Yeah, but that's actually what really dove me into YouTube. So like at this point, I'm almost like married to my YouTube channel. You know,
Yeah.
Like that's kind of been a high priority. Obviously with school, not as much, but that's basically that experience kind of really threw me into my YouTube channel, and so that has been like my priority. Since that period, I'm like, I kind of want to establish a life for myself, and it's kind of that thoughts, 'cause
Yeah.
I don't know, like I will say I did have one small crush afterwards, but partially based on looks, partially I had some confidence in her spirituality, and also I thought there was some mutual attraction. But then a friend that she has, good friends, and then all of a sudden I guess they decided to couple up, and so now. But that was like really short-lived compared to the previous girl, so like I kind of got over that quickly.
Right.
But I mean that was kind of more based upon the fact that I thought there was mutual attraction.
Yeah.
Anyways, trying to think. Yeah, so I've just like been more, because of those experiences, like it was because after the second to last girl, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a YouTube channel. I don't want to necessarily go back into that realm, and then I did, and then quickly got out of that. But it's like, it's just exhausting, Hey, I'd love to get married, still would love to. And it sometimes sucks to be single, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, for example, like I want to go to see some of these plays that that Liberty has, at the theater. They're awesome, you know what I mean? But the thing is, I don't want to go alone.
I know.
I hate
it. Like your incentive to go is to support your actor friends.
Exactly.
Who are in it.
Exactly.
But then there are other shows that's like, I just don't want to go.
Right. And so yeah, definitely, like I know like CJ's definitely the closest actor friend I have, but I know I've met other people that like, oh, I probably wouldn't know it's them until after the show. Like, wait, you were in that play? You know what I mean? Because like, there's some like I've just met like occasionally and never really like were great friends. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, trying to think. So, but I just don't want to go alone. So, like, I was just even thinking on the way here, like, I wish I had a girlfriend so we could go see this play because I don't want to go alone. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go, but, like, I'm not going to make it a high priority unless I made a priority with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I went to see, I think, 2 of CJ's plays because CJ was in it.
Yeah.
And he kind of convinced me to. And then I went to see yours.
Yeah.
Because you kind of convinced me to as well. But also you guaranteed a ticket. So.
Also, I can guarantee a ticket for Bedford Boys.
Okay. Then I'll have to check the dates. Because, like, at the same time, because, like, I don't want to get wrapped up into something super emotional, but I know this is going to be a special one, so I feel like I should see it. You know what I mean?
Because it's literally created. It's all original.
Okay.
CJ's working on it.
Right.
I'm working on it.
Right.
So.
And then, like, that poster.
And I have a free ticket, so.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Then I need to look up the dates and ask a day off from work to go see that.
Yeah, because I don't want to just waste a ticket.
No, I understand. Cool. Thank you. But
Of
at
course.
the same time, it's like, I want to go with someone.
I know.
But hey, free ticket is better than no ticket. Anyways.
I go to shows, and a lot of them are about relationship, and like, oh.
I know, and then you're like sitting alone, like, yeah, I'm in my feels right now. Hopefully Bedford Boys, that's not. Is there any component in Bedford Boys relation-based? I pray not. Because if right now, if I'm to see a war story, I just want to see a war story. Then again, I bet half those men were married. Darn it.
I would think so.
Yeah, okay.
I know there's at least a couple of siblings.
Well, siblings, yes. Yeah, I'm going to marry my sister. No, I'm like, that's not going to be the case in that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm talking about, yeah.
But I kind of, I kind of realized they're away from home. They're going to be missing their families, whether it be siblings or wives. So it's probably going to be in there. But it's probably not going to be so focal. Hopefully not. We'll see.
I don't know.
I don't know? You haven't seen it yet.
I've not seen it. I've not even read the script.
Okay. Got it. Just working on the sets. I get it.
Because they're constantly changing it.
Really?
Yeah. Like, you don't know things about these shows. Like, sometimes they'll change something in the middle of the show period. And, like, they have and so they have that one night to change their lines. And it's like...
Wow.
They did that for Blood Roots. And it was like, well, we'll see how this goes.
I should have seen Blood Roots. Then do you feel like seeing the last show is the best idea?
I wouldn't say. I don't care. I'll just see it.
You don't care? You just see it?
I'll just see any show.
Okay, because I would think the last show would be the most polished.
Not really.
Really?
Really, yeah. Sometimes, and a lot of times, it's the last show is like, you want to go your best, however you're trying to do your best, and so it's like it's your last one. You're kind of less than what you were when your first one. Because you know the show that I did. My first performance there was the best one.
Okay.
And it just
I probably saw the last one.
I don't remember. I think you did. I don't know.
But anyways, I guess we were talking. So yeah, it would be awesome. But right now, I'm trying not to like make that a priority. You know what I mean? I want to focus on my life. I feel like also just I need to grow spiritually. Spiritually closer to God. I just kind of a lot of things in life. If it happens, awesome. If it doesn't, sad, but you know what? It's probably for the better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It just kind of sucks a bit, but at the same time, I'm fine, but not. But I'm more fine than not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, in the end, foundation of a lot of these relationships, despite like the last few kind of being a little more like based upon looks,
Yeah.
was the fact that I wanted someone to be my best friend for life. You know,
Yes.
that's like the foundation of all these, because I just wanted someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So that deep foundation is definitely like the base case for like especially the last few, but I feel like all of them, but definitely looks played into the last few significantly more than the earlier ones.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, that's all I feel right there. I'm not crushing on anyone right now.
It's fine.
I'm already exhausted as it is.
Yeah.
I don't need to consume my emotional energy on someone right now. If it happens, awesome. But
because crushes can be a great distraction.
It can be a great distraction,
you
but
think
the distraction
you think about them a lot.
Stupidly enough.
Stupid.
That's
stupid. Stupid that I have to care for people.
I high-key wonder if anyone's crushing on me, though. You know what? It'd be low-key cool to know. But then it's also like, then if I find out... But, so like that... Like, I used to check often because I'm like, I wonder if anyone is crushing on me.
It's not even very good, your crushes.
Yeah, I used to check it often. But it kind of came to a point where it's like, you know what? It's affecting me emotionally. I made this decision.
Yeah.
Like, over a year ago. So that was quite a few crushes ago. But it just wasn't affecting me.
Yeah.
It was affecting me emotionally negatively. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna check it. If I ever get on the page, maybe someone will tag me, maybe someone will let me know.
Sure.
But I'm not gonna like be checking it to like, oh, this kid who's wearing the flannel and screaming at open mic, I crush on him a lot. Like, first off, I don't think anyone's gonna post that, but it's like, that's kind of part of the reason why I was checking. And also, it was before I had Facebook anyway, so no one could tag me, but people could screenshot and post
right.
me, I guess. But it'd be like, I would only know what I wore. No one else would know. That's kind of part of the reason why I kept checking.
Yeah.
Because that's actually how I first started checking, because someone recognized me because of the vest I was wearing. And then I realized that I lost my vest, and I never have found that vest since. But it's like, you were wearing that red vest. Like, oh yeah? Oh yeah, I guess I have been wearing it a lot lately. Wait, I don't have it. Where is it? Oh, it's lost. Darn it. Like,
yeah.
That was the first semester. But yeah, I was like, oh. So like, I feel like the semester after that, I probably still like my second semester, so I don't even remember it. Probably spring 18. I probably saw every single LU crush that semester, because I was like, oh. But then it came to fall of 18. I'm like, was it? Probably 18. I'm like, it's not worth my emotional energy.
Yeah. I don't even check if I have friends who share it, so I get to see some of it. Most of it is like crushing all of you guys, all of them girls, and it's like that doesn't even count.
They're Mormons. That's what. Did you realize that?
I don't know.
They're Mormons.
I don't know.
That girl who crushes on that hall full of boys, she's a Mormon. She wants 50 husbands.
It is not even specific. All the guys who like syrup, or all the guys who,
because they're desperate and they want to find someone with some similar commonality.
trying to make those people feel better. I see that like, oh, you're trying to make them feel better. That's a waste.
But that's
like, just a waste of space.
That's a waste of space. Thank you.
Like, be specific about it.
Yes.
Give me the juicy stuff.
Maybe if like someone posted, I want a boy who loves this movie, this band, this class.
Even that. It's like,
but it's like you're trying to find someone instead of saying, oh, someone who likes syrup. You know what I mean? Instead of something so broad, narrow it down, and maybe you'll find someone that maybe
even
not.
Down to a specific person.
Then what? How would you have LU crushes?
I think because I feel like that's what it should be.
The specific
because
people.
it's called LU crushes. There's specific crushes on people, not
trying to find someone.
Not trying to find a future crush.
But then what other medium would you use to try to find?
I don't even think it's a good site to use. It's just pathetic.
Ding dong you, Facebook.
Not that. Anyway.
I'm sorry. I've low-key wanted to try the Facebook dating, though, because then you select a couple of your crushes, and then if that other person also selected you as a crush, then it matches you. Low-key want to try that, but then again, I'm not crushing on anyone right now, so there's no one to crush on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Besides, who's even using it? So...
Yeah. I guess it's my turn.
Yes, it's your turn, John. Spill the English tea. Spill the no, sorry.
Let's see. Well, I've definitely lost count.
Oh, no. I can count mine on my two hands.
I can't.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't because I'm an interesting kid.
Okay. Okay. Let's put it this way. How many do you think you've had during your time here at Liberty?
Not that many.
An average number.
An average number.
Because that, I'm curious.
If I'm really pushing it, maybe 5.
Okay.
But that's just really small.
So, like, nothing ever significant here at Liberty? Like, no significant crush here at Liberty?
There is significant.
There was one.
Maybe there is. I don't know.
Was.
Is or was.
Is or was.
Even to interpretation.
Okay. So, like, 4 minor and 1 major. Ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially.
I was just curious. You don't have to get into gritty details, but I was like...
Anyway,
curious.
my first crush, the first I can remember anyway.
First you can review.
Is pre-K.
This is number 1. I'm sorry.
This is in pre-K.
You're going way back.
Way back.
Way back. This is when you were 4 and I was like 9.
Yeah, it was in pre-K.
Wow.
This girl showed up halfway through the semester there. I remember. I can remember that specifically when she came in, like
first time
she came in.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
First time she came in, the door opens. She comes in, and the sunlight was like shining in,
like
and this
perfectly.
Heavenly glow.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like
That's great.
She was pretty. The foundation was that she was pretty. Like, definitely all the relationships during that time in elementary school, this is in Paraguay, was that they were pretty.
Right.
I had a few crushes.
All pretty.
During that time there. There specifically during pre-K and kindergarten, I had 3 crushes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
That's just very interesting because I get wrapped up in my own life and then I don't realize what other people have done or gone through. It's like, that's just interesting.
3 crushes, all in my same class.
Like, I've had like 3 crushes during my time at Liberty.
And they were all pretty. And I made it clear that I liked them.
Okay.
And that I would marry all of them.
Right. No, I understand.
Back when I didn't really understand.
That's what kind of drives you, right?
Kind of.
Your attitudes kind of just change around that.
And
you don't even try, but it just happens.
And that first one, I kissed her on the cheek.
Oh.
On Valentine's Day.
Fun. Wait, low key, I just remember I kind of do have a small crush right now, but it's like kind of minor that I'm not really focused on.
Yeah,
so.
And that one just...
Sorry. Anyways, moving on. Let's get back to John's
That
life.
one stuck with the classmates for so long. It's like they would bring it up. It's like, oh, you kissed so-and-so.
Isn't that annoying, though? Like how people do that?
Especially then, because it wasn't really nice. I
mean, it's usually just done in spite. They just want to say something.
Specifically,
all they can think about saying.
Specifically at me, they did it in spite, because they know they kind of annoyed me.
Which is sad.
So yeah, back then.
Hey, John. I'm sorry.
Yeah, back then.
That's sad though.
I didn't really have much friends.
Right.
I had like friends who were friends or maybe weren't friends that would
low key
would be not.
I'm sorry. No, quick question.
Yeah.
Out of all your crushes, do you feel like there was even one when there was any mutual attraction?
I can't tell.
You can't tell. Okay.
Like here's something. I cannot tell.
No, I understand.
If there was mutual attraction, unless it's blatantly said to me, I have mutual attraction to
okay,
you.
so you can't read people's feelings.
I mean, I don't
Like, you don't even know if I'm even friendly right now.
I don't want to assume.
Okay.
There's the thing.
Okay,
It's like,
no, that's kind of smart.
I could make a case, but I don't want to assume because they could just be doing something else, and I could take that as
Right.
attraction, which most people do.
Right.
So
okay.
I'm not going to assume anything.
I feel like, but there comes a point when it's
You
obvious.
question, like, I wonder what they think of me.
So you've had like those moments where you feel like maybe, but you didn't.
But it's not
really
like I feel like
overthink it.
maybe they like me. I feel like I wonder, do they like me?
You've wondered. Okay. But I do feel like there comes a point with like certain people, it's like it's obvious that they like someone. But I guess I've never had that with
Yeah.
me. But I know that can be the case.
Yeah. So
Anyways.
I was in Paraguay in my grade years, of pre-K until 5th grade, and so I've had the same crush on the different girls throughout that period of time. Definitely dwindled as the years went by, and they weren't they weren't really focused on any of that.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, more girls joined the class. It's mainly the girls that were in my class that I liked.
Yeah. Because you're with them all the time.
I'm with them all the
and
time.
You have no one else to look at.
They're the pretty ones.
Yeah.
And then there's the
They're
high.
always like staying at that corner, and the teacher's there.
And then
but it's like-
the pretty other girls that come that time. I don't know. There's just a lot of. The basic foundation was that they were pretty,
yeah.
and they were the ones that were nice to me.
Which is awesome.
Well, yeah, nice. Like,
Well, at least
they weren't.
nicer than others. Maybe.
Yeah, they weren't really actively trying to spite me. They were
That's
just
good.
nice in general. Yeah, I don't.
Uh oh. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, you brought yourself into.
I
this,
guess
so
there's.
I don't have to feel that.
Yeah, I think that's all I can say about that one. Without getting any specifics.
I hate the fact that I can't even, because I've never tried to explain away details. So I feel bad if anyone's listening to this and they realize what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's fine.
I feel
Maybe
like
they'll be
such a
like, "Oh my
dumb-
gosh, she likes me."
I feel like they would have known. Darn it.
I think once it's back in
Darn
me.
it.
But no, and then I moved to the States for a couple of years during middle school. And that's when one serious crush that I had started. Definitely still had small crushes on the other girls, but there was one main girl that's yeah, I like that one. And all the people there were nice to me. That was a really nice thing.
So that was also kind of another foundational thing. If you're nice to me, I'm gonna.
They were nice to me, and they were pretty.
Yeah.
They were really pretty. It's before the pretty ones were South American. Now these were the American pretty girls, and they were really pretty.
Yeah.
in my
The South American girls are pretty, but the American girls, they're off the charts.
It's oh my gosh, it's my people. And so this one stuck throughout middle school, even when I moved to Ecuador.
Oh, that's rough.
But even though, I moved to Ecuador, and then at that same time, she moved to a different place. So, it's fine. In Ecuador was when I started to become more mature with my crushes.
Okay. But.
I'm not gonna say but.
Oh, okay. But I will. But.
Okay. And then my next crush, which was the one that lasted the longest.
Okay. Oh, how long? How long?
I'm still feeling it.
Ooh.
It's kind of really pushed aside.
Right.
But it's still kind of flip on, flip off
Yeah.
in a moment. It's not as strong as it was back then. But there,
I understand.
I didn't think that she was, from first glance, that she was the prettiest girl in the world.
But then it happens like that.
Because the other
all of a
girls,
sudden.
at first glance, I can tell that they were pretty. And so that's where a lot of that came from.
Right.
But here she's like, oh, she's nice. And of course, my first encounter with her was not very nice. I was kind of rude.
Oh, John.
Because, she came...
I've never known you to be rude.
I didn't mean to. But I didn't mean to be rude. Like, she showed up later in school year. She was kind of late in the school year. Like, when I first met her, I was like, who are you? What are you doing here? Like, I didn't mean it to be that rude,
Yeah,
but that's how it came
happened.
off.
Yeah. It happened.
And so, that happened.
It happened.
Time went on.
But
A couple weeks went on, and then I guess I found something out about her that we both liked something, like a TV
My
show.
Little Pony?
No.
Oh.
Something else.
Oh.
And so then we just started talking, and then we started hanging out during lunchtime every week, because I sat alone.
Yeah.
During lunch, and then she'd invite me to her group at table.
That's nice.
And so we'd hang out, and and that was like the foundation was I liked her because when she was nice to me, and the best way I can say it is that I really liked her personality.
Yeah.
And her personality was, the way that I would have described her was that she was a female version of me.
Interesting.
And, that's kind of what I was attracted to.
That makes sense.
And so we hang out for a year. I was friends with her family was friends with my family.
And then you really like, oh, it really could be something.
Yeah.
I've had those
yeah,
moments.
that's how it was.
Oh my gosh, I've had those moments.
Yeah.
My God. Anyways.
And, that whole year, that was the main thing.
How many years ago was that?
No.
For context.
For context, that was
John.
It started in 2012, like
It's
fall of
2019.
2012,
Okay.
and that only lasted one school year because she moved away.
Aww.
And that was just kind of
Are you still in contact with her?
yes,
Okay.
not
At least you're in contact.
not frequently.
Not frequently, but you're in contact.
There was a problem where that came up where I still crushed on her. We talked a lot. Then she was the one that got a boyfriend, and it was like, oh,
Are they still together?
I don't know. I don't think so.
That's no worries.
But no, but then there was a point where she stopped talking to me, and I can, and we're talking now, which is fine. But there was this period where we stopped talking, not on my end. I don't fully know what happened. I have an idea. Was that I was depressing her. Because that was a depressing time.
Right. That's interesting. Because, like, for me, like, my friends in LA, like, all of them, I'm not in contact with, like, any of them. You know what I mean? So, for me, low-key, I'm just happy that you're able to keep in contact with someone like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the only people I've really been able to have good contact with are my online friends.
Yeah. And
Which
some
makes me
people
think
in my channel will understand that time period.
Oh. Okay.
Because that was still when I was doing reactions. No, that was when I was very in depth in my channel. And then I guess this one girl, I don't know what they call it. I don't think it was a crush. Because it didn't start really start out as a crush. And there was the foundation was that she was pretty. But no, she. Here's the one that was really confusing about. She kept coming up to me. It's like, hey John, admit your love for me. It's like I had no idea who she was.
What the crap?
And she chased me one day. Like I'm walking home. I'm walking home, and I passed her, and I hear her say my name. I didn't have to look back to recognize it was her voice. I bolted.
What type of life did you have?
And I don't know what that was, but I guess it was flattering, but it was also like
Scary.
it's like I don't really know this person.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And of course, the next year she toned it down.
Good.
But, well, it's fine
But she haunted you for like a year?
for a year, but
Oh my gosh.
I guess after that.
After a year, she got the message.
After that, she was more mature.
Good.
I'd still
Fish probably died during the summer.
no, I still. That was one time where I gave her some on Valentine's Day one time, on like her senior year, and like she almost cried because like
Aw.
it was like way back when, like my first year there.
Yeah.
She says like, "Oh, John, you gonna give me something on Valentine's Day?" I was like, "I don't know." And I made that plan back then. It's like senior year, I'm gonna get her
Senior
some, and
Aw.
I did. And I wrote a message like, "You asked me a few years ago to get you this," and
That's awesome.
and that was awesome.
Was it the ugly dogs? The ugly dogs?
No,
No?
I don't know what you're No. No, the Valentine thing was just like a cupcake and a rose.
Oh, okay. Because I thought she would greatly benefit from, I don't know, some pretty rats or something.
No,
No.
that was interesting. I still don't know.
Okay.
No,
It's kind of like something a little more forced on you.
I should probably ask her why.
Okay.
And then I guess this next crush, which this is really weird, because
Yes.
it started with a dream.
Okay.
This dream,
Oh. Yeah, dreams are the worst.
like I'd known this person for a bit, and I know that they were pretty, and then I had a dream about them.
How this stupid dreams
And the
work.
dream was like
Freaking dreams.
was a wedding, and we were getting married.
Frickin'
And then I
dreams.
woke up.
And then you start
I
crushing.
woke up sweating and scared, because like, what the heck? And as soon as I woke up, lightning struck, and and so that just stuck in my head, and so I guess it's like I don't know, was this just a dream or divine providence? I don't know. I never told her about that, but
Good. Like, hey, guess what? You want to hear my dream last night? We got married.
But no, I asked her if like she had any weird dreams to see if there was any connecting vision.
Yeah.
But no, there wasn't
Like,
anything.
no. Okay, cool.
But no, I liked her and I respected her more.
Yeah. It's funny how dreams do that. My gosh. Because I definitely know, like, sometimes some of the dreams motivated me to crush on a person.
Yeah, and there's a few crushes I've not even mentioned, but these are the main ones that stick
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
And I guess here, I guess there were a bunch of crushes that were like short-lived, lasted a
Right.
week, or something that just, depending on their personality and stuff, where
Yeah.
I started looking more on them instead of the pretty face, because the pretty face, that's nice, but I don't really trust that now.
Yeah.
Because I grew more mature with that girl in Ecuador, the one that I liked because of the personality. Because that was the first time it was like I like this person for who they are.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
yeah,
I don't have to defend myself. Sorry. I could, but it's just. I'm sorry. Move on. Go on.
and I guess the next one, which is the big crush.
Because I'm sorry. Because it's like, obviously you were asking foundation, but like a lot of these people, like I did. Most of them, I believe, definitely like them for who they were. Anyways, move on.
And the next crush was the big crush. Was that it was during a time where it was like I was kind of by myself and alone a bit. And the thing about it was that she introduced herself to me and said hi.
Yeah.
And that's like, and I guess, I noticed that, and it was like, I kept seeing her around, and I guess we started hanging out, and the thing that I was really attracted to was, one, her personality, and two, her heart for Christ. And like, that was, and that's what I liked.
Right.
I liked their focus on Christ, their hearts, and their personality, which is completely opposite of mine.
Oh, so you don't love Christ? I'm sorry. John, I'm worried about you spiritually. I think you need Jesus.
We all need Jesus.
We all need Jesus.
And so that was nice.
Right.
And I guess like that's pretty much up to date.
Right. So what did we learn from all this, John? What did we learn?
We learned that I like a pretty face, and I grew matured and started liking people for who they are.
That's good. I don't know what I don't know. It's just like, it's, at least for me, it's just like, I feel like the significant thing for me is that I kind of realized why I've crushed on people hard in the past. And it's also comforting, honestly, to know that I'm not the only one who likes a pretty face. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm not alone in this like endless deal about crushes, you know? Like, it's not just me, you too, right?
Yeah.
We've had long-lasting crushes and obviously different experiences, but at the root of it, we've liked girls for pretty faces or their heart for Christ, or personalities, or what,
Yeah, and
so,
I guess the crushes that lasted long for me, that like stuck with my heart, was that I didn't crush on them on their physical appearance. I crushed on them because I connected with them.
Right.
There was actual relationship connection.
Right.
And it's like, you want that to grow.
And to be honest, I've definitely crushed on people, like I mentioned, pretty face, but also because I did like their personality, because I thought there was a connection or something. I thought.
So
I'm probably wrong, but
I guess I could just estimate I've had about 20 crushes.
Okay.
Maybe more, I don't know.
I'm less than 10, I'd say. Low key though, I mean, like, it's like, this is interesting. Like, there was, I don't know how to say it, but a girl online that I'm really good friends with, and it's kind of something we've talked about before, but just, she's not necessarily interested in the idea, she's more like just friends, but I've definitely liked her heart. Just the connection. It's like easy to talk to her. It's probably the easiest girl to talk to right now in my life right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, that's definitely kind of been, like, you want good connection, you want to be able to talk to someone. It's not just like, oh, you're sitting there, oh, hi, how do you sit there? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's kind of part of that. I don't know. So, it's all confusing, it's complicated, I hate it, but we'll see what will happen. God has everything in his hands, and things are gonna work out as they should. So, but yeah, I'm glad I just realized the root of the issue is that I realized that I am lonely and that I want someone to fill that void, but I need to work on Jesus filling that void before finding a girl. That's what I've learned personally. So,
Yeah. Of course.
yeah, so there I am.
Yeah, and this is a good
Stripped up and stripped.
closing
Stripped
segment
and
for
exposed.
today. So, yeah. Any final thoughts here?
No, that was my final.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.